go back to the 2023 final matric exams, we know that learners are getting ready within a few days to write that final exam. We now speak to the spokesperson for Teachers Union Sadtu, Nomusa Cembi, and to just get their response, whether they feel that the learners are ready. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Nomusa. I do know that last year, if I remember correctly, you were worried about the overcrowding in classrooms when it came to the matric exams. Do you have any concerns this year?
First, let me greet you and your viewers. We believe that everything has been done to ensure that these exams take place, that everything is in place to make sure that learners write in spaces that are not overcrowded, in spaces that allow them to write. We are happy, and we believe that our teachers as well as the learners did their best to prepare themselves for these exams. We commend both the teachers and the learners for dedicating their time to prepare for these exams. Since the beginning of the year, we saw matric teachers as well as teachers teaching matric, and the learners having morning classes, afternoon classes, weekend classes, having catch-up programs during holidays. So we believe that they've done their best to ensure that they are prepared for these exams. We know that this class that is writing this year was in grade 9 in 2020 when COVID-19 began, and they lost some of the time. But we commend everybody, including the teachers as well as the learners, for doing their best to ensure that they catch up by dedicating themselves and working extra hours and sacrificing their holidays and their weekends and their mornings and afternoons to catch up.
Nomusa, speak to me about the support structures that are available for learners when it comes to handling the stress that comes with the matric exams.
The support structures are not that much. That's why we would like to appeal to parents to do their best to give support to these learners at this time. Give them support, give them time, allow them, don't pile them with housework and whatever. Just allow them time to really prepare for these exams. And we commend teachers for doing their best to give these learners support. And, and the department has tried to give support in terms of availing these catch-up programs. And but in terms of mental wellness, we believe that the department has got to do a lot more to ensure that they give mental wellness to the learners as well as the teachers, because they are also stressed. Not everyone has fully recovered from the COVID-19 pandemic. It took quite a toll, and we saw very little coming from the department to ensure that people are fully recover from it. But we are always positive that no matter what, everyone will put their best foot forward to make sure that everything goes well.
As Sadtu, are you confident about the security surrounding this matric exam in relation to the leaking of papers this year?
We are aware that last year there were instances of leaking of exam papers. We would urge provincial education departments to do their all to ensure that the security around the papers is beefed up, because if these things happen, they affect the learners, because you find that once there's been a leak, it would take close to a year to establish what happened. If learners have been found to have copied or what, it would take a year to ensure or to come to a solution round about that. And that affects the learner's future, because they have to, hang around for almost a year not doing anything so that this problem is solved. So we'll urge the provincial departments of education to really ensure that the leaking doesn't take place, or to beef up their security measures. Umalusi assured us like a week or two ago that they were also doing their best, and they also urged the provinces to really ensure security around the papers. And we believe that the authorities will comply and do their best, because at the end of the day, we do not want the learners to suffer.
I also know that the department did say that they will do their best to ensure that load shedding is not affecting the matric exams. As Sadtu, are you confident that all the necessary plans are in place to ensure that the class of 2023 is not disrupted during their exams by load shedding or the failing infrastructure?
Yes, load shedding is quite an issue, but schools can do their best to ensure that they're not load shedding doesn't affect, because most of the time, most schools exams take place during the day, and most schools have a sufficient light. What we are worried about is preparation for the exams, because load shedding takes place in the home, and it affects the learner whilst the learner is preparing to write the exam. They cannot study enough at home because there isn't enough electricity. And when they go to, on their way to school to write exam, you'll find that there will be load shedding, which may affect their traveling time to the exam, to the various exam centers. So we would urge the department to really take those things into account, that it may affect punctuality, and it does affect learners preparing at home to write the exam. So we would like to see load shedding coming to an end, but we urge learners as well as parents to do their best to ensure that learners overcome this, or they work around this. It's been quite tough. We've had this for quite some time, but one cannot predict that everything will run smooth. But we hope people will just do their best under these circumstances.
Absolutely. That was Sadtu spokesperson Nomusa Cembi, also highlighting the importance there of mitigating load shedding when it comes to the preparation for the exams. We know we currently don't have load shedding, but I have seen, especially in Johannesburg, some breakdowns that have caused some major delays in the restoration of power. And I saw online that some learners were complaining that they are struggling to prepare for the exams because they don't have power. Thank you so much, Nomusa, for your time this morning.